So hello there, and welcome to the stream.
Um, Basically to start, I hope everyone had a good Christmas. I'm definitely pushing this to YouTube because what I'm going to do, and or at least what I'm planning, is in the next few days I'm going to be doing a year-end stream. I'm also really considering doing a I was going to do a 24-hour stream. It kind of seems like it's not going to happen now just because of time constraints and other various things going on. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I am just going to... well, what to say? I think I'm just going to go ahead and just do what I normally do at the end of the year. I'm going to outline my plans for the start of next year because I have quite a few plans that I wanted to do either in 2016, in 2017, or specifically in this year, 2018. And if you've been following my channel, which at this point is kind of not likely because most people kind of left, I have basically been inactive for the better half of 2 years, or better part of 2 years, like literally just 2 years of kind of not doing much. So what I'm thinking about doing is I want to outline my stuff like I used to do. I gotta kind of put the pedal to the metal and convince myself to do what needs to be done. I got a lot of playthroughs I said I was going to play. I got a lot of playthroughs I started and never finished. I got a lot of playthroughs I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of them. And I'm kind of hoping that at least in the early part of 2019 we can kind of begin to wrap up some of those. Now I did start to make some changes. I did change my hard drive. Like I said earlier, about a week or two ago, I got a new hard drive. Actually, it's more like a month ago, to be truthful. A month, give or take some change. I got a new hard drive, which I put inside my computer, and pretty much that's where I put all my YouTube stuff, and I store it there now. So it's kind of one conglomerated place, as opposed to being all spread all across and whatnot. So I kind of made that a bit better. That's kind of behind the scenes part one. Behind the scenes part two is... actually, there's not really much else to say about that. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. And as you see with the new GIF reel that I put so much work into over the last, 3 months, 4 months, however long I've been using it, I have added some new ones. I reshuffled the order. Like I said, I moved a lot of stuff to this one specific place. So I made a folder with copies of all the GIFs in it for this one specific thing. So that's pretty neat. That's what I did over my Christmas. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. Obviously, it's that one unique holiday everyone loves. We might have the Cyborg meat beat twice for some reason. That is really weird. Why the fuck did it just show the same thing twice? Or maybe it didn't. Alright, no, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind. But, I guess what I should probably do is I should probably get started. Because, fuck's sake, I want to do this stuff, and then I kind of want to literally piss off and do anything else. Because that's kind of how my week has been. I got a lot of playthroughs planned out. I'm feeling good about it. And like I said, if I was going to quit, I feel like it would have happened in 2017. Let's hope Final Fantasy isn't too loud. Well, it's not like anyone really cares about the audio for this game anyway. If I was going to quit doing anything on the internet, it would probably have already happened. So my logic is that, on some level, since it hasn't happened, that's good, because that means it probably won't. So here's to hoping, right? Like, I'm pretty excited. We got a lot of cool stuff going on, at least. Next year we have Resident Evil 2 make, which one of my friends wants to see me play for some reason. So we'll get brutally decapitated and eaten in that game. I actually haven't seen any gameplay for it. It's just kind of something I know I'm going to get. My whole rule about looking at gameplay is I only look at enough to really be sold on the game. So, all my friends usually, they're like, oh, did you see that there's, 8 new trailers that came out? I gotta watch every single one. No, I'm kind of the opposite mentality. I really don't want to see much, actually. The less I see, honestly, probably the better. Because I only look at enough to be able to say, okay, well, that was pretty cool. Like, there's very rarely any more games I'm not either instantly sold on or instantly turned off from. Like, that's generally not something that happens anymore, because it's the whole B, I almost said B movie, the whole B game scene has kind of died, because they don't really make these B type games anymore. Back in the day, we had games like Sleeping Dogs and what was it called? We had Sleeping Dogs, we had fuck, I can't even remember. Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs will come back. I'm pretty sure next year they'll have an announcement. We had all these different games that existed back in the day that just flat out do not exist anymore. What the fuck? So, like, nowadays it's just either the go big or go home games, you know what I mean? Like, you pretty much know if you're going to get something, in my opinion, within the first, like, week of it being announced. I don't know. That's just my opinion, which is why, like, I don't play, like, all these crazy-ass games anymore, because they just don't come out. And, like, the games that really kept me doing playthroughs and kept me doing stuff are basically, like, nice lag, are basically, like, not Alan Wake, because I did start an Alan Wake playthrough years ago. They're basically, like, Assassin's Creed, pretty much. Far Cry 5 was also a really good one. I felt really good after doing a playthrough of Far Cry 5. Which is great, because I'd never played a Far Cry game before at that point, and now it's getting a sequel, so that's another game I'm interested in playing whenever it comes out. Which I'm pretty sure, what did they say? It's like March of next year. It's maybe like a yearly sequel or some shit. That's pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. Because why the fuck not, right? Like, it was an interesting ending, and I know it left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths, but I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. I think that would be an interesting game at the bare minimum. Otherwise, I'm interested in fuck. There's a lot of other games. Demon X Machina, because I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade, and you know me, I'm kind of a sucker for sci-fi mecha stuff, which is kind of crazy because there's a lot of Gundam I didn't watch as a kid, and even till now. But I do like mechs. I think mechs are cool. I mean, a lot of people think mechs are cool. It's literally a whole genre. And needless to say, that's a game I've been looking vividly towards for about a year. Whenever they announced it, there's SMT 5. Whenever they decide to actually do something with that, I don't know what Atlas is doing. This guy says why it's tanking so easy. You're gonna blow up my whole fucking spot. Oh no! Oh my god, my controller almost disconnected. Yeah, I'm getting a new controller for PC stuff, period, so that'll at least be good, because I can't take it anymore, man. I really fucking can't. I'm sorry. I've been playing with a PS4 controller that's been wired. I guess it's the wire. I can't. It disconnects too much now. It drives me fucking insane, so I have to get a new one. But that's fine. I'm getting a wireless Xbox One controller, so we'll see how well that goes. The good thing about that is that there's no wire, obviously, because it's wireless. I mean, that's great commentary. Let me start over. The good thing is that Xbox One controllers are usually pretty good. They're pretty high quality. Not to say that PS4 controllers aren't, but there really is no other way to connect a PS4 controller except by maybe Bluetooth. And I don't think I have that enabled. I don't think I can do that. So, I just think it's easier. It'll be a controller I only use for PC. I mean, that's how they get you. Is they get you on controllers and stuff, and I kind of hate that. Oh well, whatever. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? I actually was supposed to start the stream literally way earlier in the day. but I kind of fell asleep, so that kind of sucks. I pretty much slept the whole evening. I went to sleep around like 5 or 6, and I was like, okay, I'll just, take an hour nap or something, right? Uh-oh. What the fuck happened? I'm not dropping frames, am I? What the shit? Let me refresh that. Some weird shit's going on. I probably should reboot my computer. I really should. But I never do that. I mean, I do it. It's so annoying. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much my Christmas present. I get a decent controller, and I'm sure in a year I'll need another. Well. Also, Shadowbringers is coming out. Now, you see, I feel kind of weird because a long time ago, I wanted to do a playthrough of Stormblood with Searchter, but because the servers were so fucked on launch, we pretty much just abandoned that thought, and that does kind of suck. Now, what we have been doing is I've been streaming every different patch. Maybe not like the Savage and the EX Primals, but I usually stream like the baseline content for each patch, just because. Look at that, logging on nothing. Actually, it's pretty enjoyable. I actually really do like Savage. I mean, I really do like streaming Final Fantasy. It's relaxing. It's totally not relaxing at all. It's a fucking lie. It's anxiety ridden for the most part, I guess is the only thing I could say. But I'm doing this because I want my relic, and then I'm gonna do roulettes because I haven't done anything this week on Final Fantasy. I literally just have not. Because it's weird when it's Christmas and Thanksgiving week because people are like actually with their family. So it's kind of like, oh, how do you really get a good party together when most of the good people are probably out with their friends and family? And that's the God's honest truth. I think you can look at that as long as you're not in the cone. Oh, and we got Tails. See, I got a real messed up sort of week ahead. Because there's a couple of games I want to have done before certain other games come out. So, like, obviously I want to finish Sword Art. That's my initial project. There's another JRPG I want to finish. That's something I want to do. Obviously, I want to finish Witcher. Witcher's another playthrough. I want to do another playthrough of Kingdoms of Amalur, but that might just be a stream-only thing. So, I don't know. I'll have to see. But you know what? It ain't that bad, actually, all things considered. Do I not have fucking... Oh, I do. I'm just an idiot. Fuck you. But, I mean, that's the one thing I have to say is that there's not a lot of games coming out this year, or at least in 2019, I'm aware of. There's not a lot of them. At least none that I'm, like, really hyped for, I guess. Kind of sucks, too, because 2018, you pretty much knew what the big games were. 2017, you pretty much knew what the big games were. Specifically, when I was doing Assassin's Creed, I think Assassin's Creed has almost been my favorite game of the year for 2 years straight. I definitely want to say in 2017, you had Odyssey, you had Origin, or not Odyssey. Well, you did have Odyssey. You had Mario Odyssey. You had Origins. You had, what's it called? shit. Breath of the Wild, right? I mean, some people put PUBG. I would never put PUBG on a fucking Game of the Year list. You gotta be fucking insane. It's like PUBG, and the worst part is that PUBG is actually really fun, and we played it a bunch. But my only gripe with it is that it was very buggy. It was an early access game. I couldn't put an early access as Game of the Year. That would be like saying that literally nothing else came out that year that was published in AAA and at least above like a 70. That's bullshit. But yeah, I wouldn't give it to that. Like, it might, like, I even feel kind of weird saying that, like, Origins is my favorite, because I like the character of Bayek, I liked a lot of other shit, but Assassin's Creed is one of those cursed franchises where it's just gone for so long that people just kind of don't like it on principle to some degree, and for some valid reasons, of course. I wouldn't disagree with that. But it's just one of those franchises that, it's like COD, it just can't win. It would create a riot at the VGAs, which is kind of sad on one level, but to be fair, I guess I agree with it on another level. I see why. Oh, well, whatever. Let's be fair here. VGAs are probably mostly semi-rigged. Not that that's bad. I mean, most things are fucking rigged. I remember when, what was it? La La Land was supposed to win, what was it, like, most influential film of 2017 or some shit. And the dude literally came up on stage and said, no, you didn't win. And it's whatever that other movie was, Moonlight or some shit. Yeah, I remember that. Fun fucking times. That was hilarious, actually. I made a whole bunch of memes about that, because that was really fucking nasty what they did to that movie. Could you imagine being called, like, you won the lottery, you won this, you did something really great, and while you're holding up the card and celebrating on stage, some dude comes up and is like, yo, stop fucking celebrating. And by the way, you didn't win. I'm taking it away because we're going to give it to some other movie. And you know what? Maybe Moonlight was the better movie. But the point is that whatever it was, that card said that one movie won, and they probably made a last-minute decision to be like, no, it didn't. And that's fucked up. Because if it goes in the card, that should be final, right? Because that just creates confusion. It just makes it seem like there's some shady shit going on behind the scenes, which there 100% was. So yeah, I 100% feel bad for those people, but it's something like that. I mean, all these award things are pretty rigged. I mean, I'm not saying like it's got to have like Illuminati behind it, but it's pretty evident what will win and what won't win. Like, Breath of the Wild and Odyssey were pretty much scripted to fucking win 2018 or 2017. I don't know why people are like, oh, well, Persona will win. No, it will not. Fucking JRPG, a niche JRPG that just gets a lot of hype, is not going to win over Zelda and Mario. Let's be fucking real here. Horizon was a candidate, but Horizon doesn't have the legacy. Horizon's just another game. It's an open world game. That's what I mean. It's whatever. I'm gonna go back to streaming older games, to be honest. Like, I might stream Final Fantasy from time to time. Well, let's be fair here. This is not even like new content. You know what? Then again, what is really new in this game after about a week? After a week of being out, let's be fair here. What is new in Final Fantasy? Pretty much, if it's not difficult, it'll have been cleared to hell and back. I mean, they pretty much cleared Suzaku within, what? About literally hours. Which is weird because they always act like, at Square Enix, they want to make these things have massive world progressions. And that has totally, like, never ever happened. Because most of these primals and shit, they're not that difficult. They just get cleared and that's the end of it. Oh, fuck you. They just get cleared, and then they literally just stop caring. I mean, Ultimate was kind of designed with that in mind. So, I mean, I guess there's that at least. But that's pretty much it. Like Ultimate, they even said they didn't even want to make another one for Stormblood. They made two, one for Delta and one for Sigma, and they were done. Both of which were like enhanced fights of a Realm Reborn fights. One was Binding Quill, the other was like Ultima Weapon. Which I may be making a huge mistake in joining another static for that, so that'll be exciting. Whatever. I did like streaming this game. I one day I will make those streams public. And I don't think there's anything really ridiculous in them. I just made them private because I just stored them as archive fuel. So I guess I'll do that. It's not even worth killing that shit no more. So yeah, one day I'll do that. I have ones going back as far as 4.2 because pretty much I streamed like everything this year that was big. That came out for this game. I streamed fucking Woo Prague. I streamed what else did I stream? I streamed Uwu Prague. I streamed pretty much all my Alpha Escape. Besides maybe like a day or two. Wow, nice, beautiful. Disconnect sound. That's why I'm getting a new controller. Thankfully it's coming tomorrow. Because this wire is being weird. I don't know why. I treated it nicely. I took it out to dinner. I did everything with this fucking thing. And then when this happens, the fastest way is literally to unplug it and replug it. And I actually do like using PS4 controllers. I really wish they had like a wireless PS4 controller. Thank you. I don't think I can do Bluetooth on this computer. I don't think I put in like an adapter for it. But I kind of want to do that. I want to get, what do we do? Lost City? There we go. Look at that, beautiful. Healer queues are basically equal to tank queues. I love it. At least for old shit. Yeah, I've had this relic at this stage for about over a year, and I just never completed it, because I think the White Mage... I think the White Mage and the Scholar Heavensward relics look awful. There's only like one other Heavensward relic I want to get. I haven't really seen the Monk Fists, so I might want to get those. But everything else... I kind of don't want to fucking get. It's too much work. I feel so bad for paladins that have to tank, because you have to stay in fucking bitch boy shield oath. Like, there's some that can do sword, and I've tried it. It is either an anxiety roller coaster or a literal snooze fest to try to do this shit. And that's kind of why I don't like doing dungeons anymore as Paladin. I used to like it back in the day, because I used to be a Paladin main. When I first transitioned to tank, this is deep lore, because when I first started playing this game, I was a White Mage. And when I first transitioned to tank, I was like, because at one point I was like, I don't want to fucking heal no more, because every tank I get is an idiot. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to play fucking, I'm going to tank myself, right? Because then I can't complain. It's all on me. So I do that. Complete nightmare, by the way. I don't ever recommend anyone ever do that. But, I transitioned mid-raid, or mid-tome cycle. So my gear was all messed up. So I think I transitioned around like 3.2. It wasn't, no, I transitioned around 3.3. It wasn't until 3.4 where I was actually able to like fix my gear. His gear broke. But yeah, I transitioned. Always transition on an even number if you must. Unless, of course, you can't afford, or you can't help it, like you're in a static or something. ACT had a bug, alright. I don't even know what happened. Did it crash? It might have. Oops. I don't even know what I did. I've never seen this. The source array was not long enough. Alright. What happened, dude? You go out of bounds. You didn't archive it all. Oh, fuck me. Whatever. I love Holy so much more than Gravity. The reason why I don't like Gravity is because Gravity needs a target to be able to cast. Holy, you just plant wherever you are. But I mean, that's the difference, is you can use Gravity at a distance. Holy, you have to put yourself in harm's way. So take your pick. What do you want? Alright, did it crash? Let's see, since we'll be fine. Did it? Oh, it just locked the fuck up. Oh, no, it crashed. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? It must be because he might have repaired his gear. I don't know if that triggers anything in ACT, though. It really shouldn't. Because I've repaired my gear before. Maybe his gear broke, and it, like, fucked with how ACT calculates DPA. I don't fucking know. Computer sounds. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you know why? Because there's an update. That's why, probably. I mean, it works for now, so I'm not going to update it at this exact moment. Because I'm in the middle of something, and I'm literally in the middle of a stream. But eventually I'll get around to it. So I got this really annoying window blocking half of my vision, which is annoying. You know, I do kind of wish that White Mage had more off-global cooldowns. I mean, okay, so we're planning on doing a podcast about Final Fantasy, which I think will be pretty lit. One of the things that they're doing for this game... Ouch. And I don't have Swift. Damn, now I know that fucking feeling. Hey, healers, res somebody. I don't have Swift. Alright, alright. One of the things that I want to do... Oh, no, it's an update to the parsing plugin. That's what it is. Okay. One of the things I want to do is we're doing a podcast for this game at some point, and I think that'll be pretty interesting and fun. Oh, Jesus. Nice. I like how you keep your Thundercloud proc even after death, to be honest. That's really nice. And they already admitted that they don't want to add any more actions to this game. They don't, because there's too much hotbar bloat. So what they're going to do is, they rumored about a month or two ago that they were going to remove TP, or that TP was going to get merged. As you can see, TP is down there in the bottom right. If you don't know this game. What shield is this? Oh, Pyros. Oh, shit. That's the Pyros? Oh, no, it's Zentatsuken. What the fuck is this guy wearing? Body of the Golden Wool. Okay, sure. Probably PvP gear, to be truthful with you. I only tangentially do PvP. I'm not gonna lie, I show up in PvP and I pretty much just like... I like how it took back my fucking... regen, by the way. I've never really seen that happen. Might have gotten hit by that. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, they said they don't want to add any more actions to this game because the hotbars are overbloated, which is good. They're only going to focus on merging actions, and the reason why I'm okay with that is because, one, right, like a lot of Heaven's Ward, the reason why Heaven's Ward was like of the bad parts of Heavensward, I think the bad parts were mostly because Heavensward was still running off mostly a Realm Reborn system. So, like, for instance, if you wanted to play a certain job, you needed to level up 2 classes, 1 to 30, which is the main job, and then 1 to 15, which is your secondary job. You can only take role actions based on certain stuff, etc., etc. It was kind of a mess, but it was a good mess, because I think Heavensward is still better than Stormblood on a lot of levels. Now, people will say that Stormblood is better. I think Heavensward had a better story, had better character and area progressions. I feel like Alamigo, which was the focus of this expansion at one point, you know, like, oh, we're going to go to Alamigo, we're going to free Alamigo. They gave Alamigo top billing, and then pretty much when they announced Authored, it was like, well, see, Alamigo was the focus. And then we were like, but we could make a Japanese-centric part of the game, and they pretty much did not take up on that. I mean, to be fair, most of it kind of takes place in Yangsha, which is similar to China, but you get the point, right? Like, they had a good idea, and they were like, oh, well, you know, fuck that. So yeah, they kind of made Alamigo feel like an afterthought in this game. Which sucks, because Alamigo has pretty much been hinted at as a location to go to since 2.0. It's been a big thing that Alamigo has been occupied by the Garleans, and it's literally like they had a gigantic fucking wall that branches off the Shroud from Alamigo, and that was just considered like a DMZ. Like, the Garleans didn't invade it, despite losing all the shit in Danelon and other places, and obviously the Eorzean Alliance was too fractured, you know, prior to Heavensward to even consider launching an offensive, which is pretty interesting. And that's why I like the lore of Final Fantasy XIV. No, that's a tail swipe, ain't it? Yes, it is. I like the lore of Final Fantasy XIV because I think that there's a lot of, like, cool political stuff that they weave into this game. And that's one thing I do like about games a lot, is that I like it when there's actually, like, politics in the game. I'm not saying, like, identity politics, but I like it when you can sort of mix and match, you know, like, there's real-world analogs of, like, how power and everything is distributed. I like that, and that's kind of what I like about Game of Thrones, too. Is that Game of Thrones kind of does that on a lot of levels. And, I mean, that's initially, beside, like, everyone's drawn to Game of Thrones for different reasons. My initial reason was, hey, I like that they put in all these different characters, and it's not a clear-cut hero always wins story. And it gets pretty fucked up. Like, it's a pretty realistic analog to reality, I guess, within the confines of, you know, being a fantasy story. You have all this ideology behind it. I like looking at the political science, I guess, behind a lot of things. Which is pretty cool. I mean, what better place to look than something like Game of Thrones and Star Wars, right? Not really going to find much of it in Lord of the Rings, I don't think. But yeah. So I kind of like... I completely wandered off topic. But I kind of do like that about Final Fantasy. Is that they will literally have these moments where it's like, listen, we can't help you, Alamigo. We got to do our own thing. Because the Garleans literally are encroaching on our lands. I mean, because of gameplay reasons, they never stop, but it's generally, you know, because of story reasons they did. And I do like that. Now, we gotta do, what's the last one? Google. So, but yeah, Alamigo kind of felt like an afterthought at this point. They pretty much had, what's her name? No, that was Author. Shit, what did they have? They had Lakshmi. If you want to go that far, they had Lakshmi, and that was pretty much it. I'm trying to think, right? Lakshmi, I think that was really the only primal that Alamigo had, because everything else is a part of the 7, or is it the 4 Lords or whatever plot line. That has nothing to do with Alamigo whatsoever. They had 1 dungeon. No, they had 2. They had Fist, Temple of the Fist, and Drowned City. That's it. Everything is pretty much in Authored or in some other area. I don't know where the Grimlit Dawn is supposed to take place, or the Grimlit Dark, or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm sure I'll know it definitely in a little bit. Which is, I guess, later Alamigo will get fleshed out, because Alamigo's whole story arc is kind of like it's a nation that literally has to stand up again. So maybe Alamigo in, like, the infinite future will become this fucking thing where it's like, oh, here's a new thing that happened. I mean, they can add literally anything, right? Like, they have the Locks, which is a massive underwater area where the drowned city was located. It wouldn't be too difficult to say, well, now there's another one, and here we go with that, or something, I don't know. And, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that. We have, Blue Mage coming out. I might do that, since it'll be 4.5, and then I might never do it again. And I think the reason that they gave for wanting Blue Mage to not be a real class in this game was kind of okay, I guess. I mean, it's not like just complete lazy bullshit, but it's also just kind of really dumb, in my opinion. No, I'm not restarting now. Jesus, Windows. Fucking insane. Are they really just gonna cast it over there? What a bunch of assholes. Did it hit us over here? Yes, it will, of course. Actually, I don't think it did. It's some MLG speedrunning strats I'm unaware of. But yeah, I want to get like a regular streaming thing going on, because I think it's too often where I just do whatever. So I mean, like, yeah, there'll be Final Fantasy shit, but, you know, I'm gonna actually play other stuff, of course. But yeah, back to what I said a long time ago, they're getting rid of TP, which is interesting. They already said that actions like Invigorate and Tactician are just going to flat out disappear. So Goad's going to disappear. It's basically going to be an MP only system, which, I mean, a lot of people have said this for a while, that, like, what is the realistic purpose of using Tactician, or using all these different things? I mean, they have a point. Like, it's not complete bullshit. Like, TP is just kind of a limiter if you die, and to not spam AoE moves, which already is a bad thing about DPS. So who really knows? I mean, we'll know in like 6 months. It's not like this is something 20 years from now we'll know why. I mean, we can pretty much take a look at it and see why they would do it. For the longest, and a lot of people who started later on might not know this, but TP was not displayed as a bar next to someone when I first started this game. Like, you see right now how there's my name, there's my health, there's my MP level, and then there's my TP as a bar with no numbers. Yeah, they're just never adding the numbers, which is fine, because to be fair, TP is only relative. You don't really need to see the numbers for it, I guess. But yeah, when I started this game, that wasn't a thing. Like, you could not see your friend's TP. So, like, let's say they needed Goad or something, they would have to manually type it out or signal it somehow. Now you can just kind of look at it and you can just see, well, hey, do they need TP? Yes, you Goad them. No, you don't. Oh, shit. I don't have Divine Venison at this level. That's a 50% hit. Holy shit. Which one's the one that bores through the fucking ground? I think it's this one. Oh god, don't freeze up on me. Come on. But yeah, I mean, I like it to some degree. I think that's pretty cool that they're going to remove that. No more actions is good, and I said this like 10 minutes ago, I know, because I can't keep my thoughts straight. No more actions is a good thing, because what will end up happening is that means that they're not going to really change too many kits, which is nice. I think that a lot of classes have good kits. For instance, I think that pretty much every class besides Dark Knight, Machinist, and Monk have good kits. I mean, obviously, I was a Dark Knight main. And you know what's crazy? The reason why I really like Dark Knight is because I'm a huge Final Fantasy IV fan, and I really do feel like they kind of ascribe this really negative role to being a Dark Knight. Whereas this game kind of looks at it in a more pragmatic way, in that, like, well, we're not really evil. We just sort of do stuff that other men are not willing to, you know? Like, we do the whole above and beyond sort of deal, which is kind of what I like to see. I think that that's interesting as a plot line, because it's like, well, you know, most places are like, oh, the Dark Knight is evil, dude. You get a little more than that. I like it when we get a little more meat off the bone. Yeah, it's not a little bit. We get a little more meat off the bone than just random bullshit. Because that's what I like. I like when plot lines are not simply clear-cut. But you know what? It's okay when they are, as long as it's well written. Like, Tales of Zestiria might have had a bland, generic plot, but at the bare minimum, it was decent, right? Like, there were a couple moments of ELB. That's hilarious. He's like, oh, I don't want to waste the LB for. That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, like, Tales of Zestiria I always cite as being the most milquetoast, baby's first RPG next to, Oh, fuck. Did I do my leveling roulette? I didn't do it, did I? Did I? Oh, no, I did do it. Okay. Right? Some of these quests have been in my inventory for literally over a year and a half. Never doing Dunscath again. Good. You get one. Good dragons go bad. Slowed out life. Yeah, I want to get the Terpender Lux. I think everyone has that, though, so I'm also going to get the Yoichi bow, Zeta. I think that's the bow, right? Yeah, because it's the Artemis bow, and then it turns into the Yoichi bow. Which is pretty cool that these are all, like, old-school Final Fantasy weapons, given special status. But yeah, they'll keep kits the same, which I think is nice. Yeah, I think I already turned it in. I think it's an Idleshire quest, and I don't have it. Which means I need to go get it. And that also means I'm not doing that tonight either. And I don't want them to change Warrior. I think Warrior has exactly what it needs. I think what this game really needs to do is it needs to start having a normal system of, like, talents. And I hate to say that, because the way that this game is and the way that games are now, that sort of means that certain talents become mandatory. And I mean, there's, like, it's kind of a double-edged sword of whether or not you even do that. Because some talents will be normal, some talents will be mandatory. So, I mean, I see why you wouldn't want to do that. I think that would be pretty cool, though, to have talents. And, like, there's reasons to do it. I feel like if the one thing that they could have done with Blue Mage is they could have figured out a way to have the learning be, like, a talent, right? So, like, maybe like, Bard's thing is that they perform, right? Like, Bards have this unique action where they perform. Maybe, like, have Blue Mages learn something, but have a normalized kit. I don't know. They specifically... There was actually a Japanese interview that got translated that they did, like, in the last day or two, where he specifically states why he didn't want to do it. Basically, Blue Mage kept being brought up as a job to be put in, and they just didn't want to get rid of the feel of learning. So they were like, well, we'll make it its own half job. It's really a dumb decision, in my opinion. I still disagree with it. I see that the reason why they did it is because of the lore. But I also think there are more realistic reasons that they just didn't want to put it in the game. I think that Yoshi P, and he specifically says, like, I have the final say in what goes in and what doesn't go in on the game. I just think that he didn't really want it in, which is fine, because I get that if they're keeping jobs close to the lore, then sure, that makes sense. But to be fair, 90% of every job in this game is improvised bullshit, which may have been referenced at some point in a previous game. So, like, for instance, I'm on White Mage, right? Cure 1, first of all, Cure 2 hasn't existed since the NES days, but I digress. Cure 1, Cure 2, Cure 3, some of them act nothing like what they usually do. Fine, whatever. Tetragrammaton, I have never heard of before in a Final Fantasy game. Same thing with Medica. Maybe it's in, like, one game somewhere as, like, some random ability. Regen is obviously a staple. Asylum, Assize, Swiftcast, I mean, Raise is obvious. Divine Benison and Benediction, never heard of. Again, I'm sure they've been referenced somewhere, but half of this shit, like Break, for instance, doesn't petrify. So what I'm trying to get at is that they ad-lib a lot, right? Like, they make it up as they go along to suit the needs of this game being an MMO and not a single-player game. Which is why I'm still playing this game over 15, and why I played 15 once, got the platinum, never booted it again, and deleted it off my hard drive. And that's just my general line of thinking. So, like, I mean, I get why they did it, but I feel like they've done enough on this game to kind of get away with ad-libbing. And I think people just wanted a normal job in the game that they liked, that they referenced. And they could have melded the lore around it, not necessarily given it, like, super blue mage abilities like bad breath and shit, but, you know, something. I think that people like to draw too many extremes. Because, for instance, right, like, Mirage Dive, historically, is not a Dragoon skill. In fact, the only Dragoon skill that ever existed prior to this was, like, Jump. And maybe Blood for Blood, I think, was something that Kayn could do. I might be wrong. But everything else is pretty much completely ad-lib because they need MMO and they need gameplay. And believe it or not, spamming Jump every turn probably wouldn't be very fun. It would look cool. It wouldn't be very fun after about 30 minutes of doing nothing but jump. But Mirage Dive was a skill that a thief had. Locke had it. Locke was never a Dragoon. It wasn't even close. There was another example I was going to point out, but I can't remember for the life of me, and I don't really care. I mean, their reasoning at least kind of makes more sense. I think it's just still that he really didn't want to do it. To be truthful. And like he says, he has the ultimate final say. Whatever he says gets put on the butcher's block, and that's the end of it. So it is what it is. Oh, and speaking of that, since I'm typing, yeah, kits will stay the same. I'm kind of half summarizing something I barely remember. Kits will stay the same, and that's good. I think that the only thing that Paladin needs is I kind of wish that if you're under Requiescat, your spell casting abilities just become instant cast. I kind of hope that will be a thing, because I kind of don't like having to have a second to step. I mean, it's better than not having a second to step, don't get me wrong. But I kind of wish that wasn't the case. That'd be pretty cool, I think, to add a buff to Requiescat to do that. But the level cap is going up 3 levels, or 10 levels, and they already said they're not adding anymore. Which will be crazy. So, I feel like they feel pigeonholed into always adding new classes every expansion. And I kind of disagree with that mentality. I think that the best example I could give to that is World of Warcraft, where they literally had, like, what is it, only 2 expansions bring new classes? Maybe 3 at this point? Because the best expansion, I think that most people will consider to be one of the best expansion of any MMO ever, which was Burning Crusade, or at least, you know, it's definitely in, like, the top 3. That added no classes. It added 2 races. It didn't add any classes. And at the time, everyone was fine with it. The only thing that it kind of added was the ability for the Horde to have Paladins, and the ability for the Alliance to have Shaman. But that has since been eradicated, because now you can have Tarn Paladins. You can have Dwarf Shaman. I think even Gnomes can be Shaman, or Goblins can be Shaman, or something. It's weird. It gets really weird. And I like Warcraft. I really wanted to... It's a game I would sub to if I had the disposable income. But I don't, so I just play this game instead. Like, this game, in my opinion, is better because, you know, you could do everything on one character. I think that's a huge selling point to me. And that way it stops the game from getting stale. Because my problem with Warcraft is that even though, like, the fights and everything are simpler, I find that Final Fantasy is just a lot better systems between, like, enmity. Healing, in my opinion, is a lot easier on this game. And this game has controller support, which I always said that WoW could have probably been put on consoles at some point, and they just never did it. And this game was on consoles from day one. At least the A Realm Reborn was. I don't even consider 1.0 a video game, to be truthful. You'll have to forgive me. It's too big of a fucking failure. But yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Apparently the Orborn Monastery, the intro cutscenes leading up to it, made Yoshi P cry. So, I don't know what that really means. I guess he put a lot of work into the story. I don't know if it's a marketing strategy to be like, hey, don't skip this dialogue that we clearly write. You know, who really knows? I don't. But I like that if they are putting more interest and importance into some of these stories, because I couldn't give a shit about the Dunscaith plotline by the end of it. I really was like, because the problem with writing stories for this stuff is that the content drops are literally 6 months apart for each episode. So to even remember what happened, you would either need a refresher or just like really good memory. You need to really pay attention to it and like maybe even take some notes. And I'm not doing that. I'm not about that shit. And that might just be me personally, but like I like the story. I mean, I hated the fucking Dunscape sword. I really fucking did not like it. Partly because the final fight was obnoxious on week 1. Just a slaughter. Because that was the first duty I ever ran into that I was in danger. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? What the fuck? Is this just a freebie? I don't know what the hell I got in the mail. What the fuck? Well, I gotta talk to Amazon customer support. Ever heard of a movie called Love, Simon? Because I sure as fuck haven't. Amazon, what are you doing? Holy shit. I don't know, did someone troll me? I'm not watching it. I'm like, what did I order? Oh, this must be the thing that I ordered. No, I gotta see some shit. Of course, it'll take forever for this to load, but yeah, I like that. Like the problem is that you have to wait so long for this stuff to become relevant again. So I guess I kind of see the dilemma is that like, hey, you write up this plot line. The plot line literally goes fucking nowhere, pretty much. I mean, what can you realistically do at that point? It takes you over a year to finish it. Where is this shit? Amazon, where the fuck are you? Oh. Well, of course. Let's do orders. I can't wait for them to say that that was something I was supposed to get. Delivered Thursday. What day is it today? Friday? Wait, what? What the fuck? What's going on? I don't think I'm missing a package. Yeah, I'm not I don't know where this shit came from. I gotta send this shit back. I don't know where it came from. I'm getting weird shit in the mail. What the fuck? Yo, what? I'm dead fucking serious. I'm getting like weird shit in the mail now. I'm getting fucking DVDs I never ordered. Hello? I gotta look at the label. Maybe they sent it to the wrong place. No, they wouldn't have, because how the fuck would I have gotten it? That is obscenely fucking weird. I don't like rom-coms. I think all rom-coms are garbage. Fucking the only okay. We watched Blockers the other night, which is a movie I've been wanting to see for literally like ever and a day. And I liked it because the movie knows it's stupid, so it doesn't take itself too seriously. You got John Cena eating panties and shit. Like, that's fucking funny. That at least if you're gonna make a movie, make it fucking stupid. I like that. If it's not gonna tell like a serious tale, and I did enjoy that for what it's worth. So yeah, I rewatched that. That was funny. I mean, I guess that's the closest thing to a rom-com I've ever gotten, but. That movie is fucking hilarious. Getting weird fucking shit in the mail? I don't know, man. Try to live a normal, peaceful life, man. Nice, cancel my spell. Is this like an elaborate Christmas present from someone who forgot to say Merry Christmas to me? Like, hey, April Fools, I got you your favorite type of movie. It's a rom-com starring some random people. Nah, I'm gonna tell Amazon. I'm not gonna keep it. It's not even something worth keeping because I know I'll never use it. It's not like if Amazon sent me like a fucking Xbox One X, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, you know, yeah. I'm not gonna, you know. If no one comes knocking, I ain't gonna ask no questions. It's not my job. I don't get paid to remove Windfall from my fucking life. I'm fucking high. I don't get paid jack shit. Speaking of which, I am salty. Speaking of about Windfall, I am kind of salty. I don't have my Wind Waker Hero Mode save anymore. And I think in 2019 I might do another run of it in Hero Mode. I really kind of don't want to because I think that's kind of overkill considering it took me like 12 hours to... How long was that? That was like a weekly thing I did back in 2016, man. I missed that. I had a lot of fun doing that for like no reason. I really did enjoy doing Wind Waker HD Hero Mode. See, the problem with it, though, is that the start of the game is really difficult, and then once you get your first fairy, the game becomes easy. Like, unfortunately, the problem with having a game not built around that kind of gameplay... Yeah, I know we're going to get that off. The problem with having a game not 100% built around that is it kind of just doesn't work as a system. Like, is it fun? Yeah. Is it challenging? Yeah. Is it like a remix of what you like? Yeah, but let's be fair here. It's not really anything like uniquely different. It's just a really hard beginning, and then after that, you just have enough shit to be able to sort of carefully make your way through the game. I mean, you know what? Listen, they added a new mode to an old game. Can I really complain? And the answer is yes, but I don't want to. That's just my thoughts of it. I miss my 2016 streams. That was like way back in the day. Those were fun. And I did play this game back then. It's just I don't think I streamed it. I don't even remember how I recorded back in the day. Was it OBS? God damn. It's been so long, I forget everything. I was also considering future Metroid playthroughs, because Metroid is kind of like the one series I like doing playthroughs on a lot. And the unfortunate part is at this point, unless I want to retread old ground, there's only 4 games I haven't played, maybe 5 if you want to count games I actually can't play. So for instance, I never played Metroid 1. I never beat Metroid 1 normally, and to be fair, after Zero Mission existed, let's be fair, there wasn't really any fucking point. So Metroid 1 was one of them. Metroid 2, even Samus Returns. Never played Other M. Other M is honestly the easiest for me to play because it's literally made to be that way. But Other M is a very fucking shitty game. And I know that everyone has said it to death. I really just want to reiterate that that game is not a Metroid game. On any level, pretty much, besides the fact that Samus is in it. Samus is a character of no consequence in a story where she kind of just gets turned into a fucking bitch. And nothing really interesting happens. like, Adam Malkovich is there because this game came after Fusion, basically. And that's it. And you want to know the worst part? The baby plotline, I know people always say, oh, she talks about the baby a bunch. I kind of forgive that. And my reason being is that when you have something of great value in your life, and I shouldn't say something, when you have someone of great value in your life and you lose them, I could get the whole, like, harping on the baby thing, but it's not like Samus and the baby spend any ridiculous amount of time together. So I guess that the only logical conclusion I can come to is that Samus is a really mentally fucked up person, because she finally found something that she was reasonably attached to, that was kind of like her, the last of her species, I guess, if you want to say that, because Samus is technically the last of the Chozo, at least as we know them currently. And, you know, she's also kind of alone. She doesn't really socialize with a lot of people, which Other M completely shits on, by the way, be showing that she did indeed socialize with a lot of people. But whatever. Again, that game is a really big fucking fuck up, and I don't think I need to even say that Nintendo knows it's a really big fuck up. Nice, boom. I don't think it would be any exaggeration to say that Nintendo is well aware that Other M did awfully. And, like, I get what they were going for in that game, but the problem with Metroid, and this might be a problem unique to Metroid for the most part, which is why I kind of don't blame them for not knowing this, but at the same time I do, is that Metroid only really exists because of Metroid only really exists because of dedicated fans who are mostly from America. And I know that, like, I would say that, you know, Japanese players don't get upset at me, but there pretty much are no Japanese players in Metroid. Metroid goes to Japan and it dies there, pretty much. It doesn't do anything. It just does awfully there. And that's not me being, you know, a dick or anything. That's just the truth. If you look at the sales numbers for Metroid compared to Zelda, Zelda has sold something like some ridiculous amount of copies over the last 30 years. Metroid pretty much has sold like a quarter of what Zelda has sold. But, like, I think even F-Zero and Star Fox have sold more, or they're close. So Metroid's in this, like, very weird position where it's like, good enough. Nice. Oh, he did. He made it. I'll give him like a 7 out of 10 on that one, because I was surprised when he did make it. But Metroid's in this weird position where, unlike Zelda and Pokemon and Mario, like, where it just sells to everyone under the sun, it kind of only sells to certain niche groups of players. So when you have a niche franchise like this, and this is something that Capcom and a lot of these other companies don't understand, like EA, when you have a niche fucking group of players, you kind of are forced to kowtow to their fucking desires. You have no choice. There's no, like, oh, well, we'll do this and they'll just love it. No, you can't really do that. Like, you could do it with Mario, because people will buy Mario no matter what's on the fucking box or what Mario's doing. But you can't really do that with, like, a game like Zelda, or with, like, Metroid. People, like, Metroid gets hurt a lot easier than all these other franchises. And they kind of understand it now, I guess. It took them basically a decade. So, I mean, I'm not giving them any rewards here for being super on the ball, but at least they kind of get it. I guess, literally, something is better than nothing if you really have to go that route. But at least they're getting it. Like, Samus Returns, in my opinion, was basically what I would expect from Fusion. Maybe they relied a little bit too much on the whole parry mechanic. As in, like, they should have had maybe another mechanic or two to utilize. But that's about it. I mean, otherwise, it's a pretty fun, straightforward game. And then, of course, they make Fusion's lore canon with the reverse. You know, like what they did with some Pokemon games and shit. since we know that fusion occurs later, we kind of get a little bit of that, which is pretty nice. And I like that, because like I always say, Fusion is one of my favorite games, but if I sat here streaming Fusion every night, that wouldn't be, even I wouldn't have fun on that one. But yeah, I think that now they kind of get it, but that's something I notice with a lot of devs. They don't realize that when you have a niche franchise, you kind of have to take calculated risks, is I guess what I'll use. You can't just, like, throw out whatever dice and just be like, well, fuck it, that's our story and we're running with it. You could clearly look at other M and see that that's not the fucking story at all. And part of it is that I think he wanted to give Samus a unique identity because the Prime games really didn't establish one for her. And he felt like that was kind of a misplay on his part. And by him, I'm talking about Sakamoto. But the way he went about it might be one of the most idiotic, illogical plot lines I've ever seen in my life. And I am kind of salty at him over that. I do kind of take fault with Sakamoto for that. Because I feel like between the PTSD scene, which pretty much is a slap on the face, I think that the only logical way to preserve Other M in the way that it is, wholesale, would be to make it a prequel. Set when Samus is like 16. Or maybe 18. Make her 18, so that she's, you know, an adult. So we don't have any weird things, you know, with all the death scenes and whatnot, which is a thing that they did include in that game. They include a lot of death scenes. And then a lot of weird shit and references to Metal Gear, which I think is really ultimately the prime problem with that game. The prime problem is that I think Sakamoto wanted to make a game like Guns of the Patriots, and I think this was the closest analog that he could get to doing that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with making a game that has cutscenes, but there's a certain tastefulness you have to handle it with to prevent the game from feeling like word soup. Like the whole game is just a bunch of fucking words. Which it is. Other M is a bunch of fucking bullshit just stacked on top of each other. There's some cutscenes that just don't shut the fuck up. There's some things that never get explained. I mean, the whole game is basically a carbon copy of Fusion, which is pretty sad, because I think Fusion has some of the problems of Other M, but it handles it in a much better way. So, for instance, like, Fusion is pretty... I mean, the plot is literally the fucking same. Samus is on a fucking Galactic Federation installation. Very good. I always like doing that. Spend no time as an M, literally zero downtime. Like Samus is on some Galactic Federation ship where they're revealed to have been cloning Metroids, which is something they said they'd never do. Big surprise, they fucking lied. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I like to see. Like, but it's the same fucking plot line. They didn't change anything. It's the same game, just with less sectors and more cutscenes and a bunch of controversial bullshit that pissed off the fan base. If only no Star Wars could realize that. Maybe someday. They'll never realize it now. They're gonna die in that fucking hell. I have no faith in Star Wars, I'm sorry. I like how you can kill this boss before the main mechanic even happens. It's fucking great. I actually like that. Alright. Well, let's get this, get the fuck out. I might play Metroid Prime again for a stream. I might do that. Who got it? Oh, there we go. Thank you. I mean, the same thing happened with Resident Evil. I mean, Resident Evil isn't as niche as Metroid, I don't think. But let's be fair here. Resident Evil is certainly not, like, busting any major bullshit. Especially in the last, like, decade. Half the games have been garbage. do have a soul stone. Or at least I have the pneumite to make a new soul stone. I think I bought just enough pneumite to be able to do that, too. Yeah, here we go. I just finished doing this. Right? Some assembly required. Don't I have one? Oh, I have 15 pneumite. I gotta get another 15, but I got plenty of time to do that. Yeah. They try to do this really cryptic shit where they're like, hey, speak with other players to figure out where to get it. Yeah, no, fuck that. Really hate when they do that. Basically, what that really translates to in real life is, hey, wait for someone to make a informational Reddit dump or a forum post, and then it'll all make sense. I really do kind of hate that. Oops. Oh, I'm already equipped on it. Okay. Don't I have 400 gear for healer? No. Okay, never mind. Anyway, I'm not doing that now. Let's go to Idleshire. Where is it? Yeah, Resident Evil sucked. I'm sorry. Resident Evil 6 was such a catastrophe. Like, on some level, if the game was like a real gun game, then I would have been like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. You know, you could light them up. You could do whatever you want. Like, there's tons of ammo, or things died if in a realistic pacing. Then, yeah, the game would be fucking good. But the ultimate problem with Resident Evil 6 is that the game just does not throw you any ammo. And that's the one part of it I hate the most. I hate that it literally gives you no ammo, even when you put the ammo skills on. So the whole game, you're kind of like barely keeping your head barely keeping your head above water, and I really hate that. It just was not a fun experience. It was a game I played at a weird time in my life, and it wasn't awful, but it's not a game I would ever replay because it just wasn't a very great, fun experience. I gotta save these for other shit. I haven't done a single roulette. It's already Thursday. I didn't do shit. Factually didn't do anything. How much does pneumite cost? 100. So I need 1,500. It's not impossible to get, especially if I have to grind out Gift of the Archmages and other shit. On 2 different Zodiac weapons, by the way. But you see, that's not even the worst step. The worst step is the fucking books to get it to be Animus. I hate that fucking step. Or no, Animus is the relic, the scroll sphere. Sphere scroll. That's the worst step. I think it's Atma to Animus. Atma to Animus is fucking awful. I mean, Atmas were apparently really bad back in the day. But Atma to Animus is fucking terrible. I'm sorry. It is awful. It's not even the fact that you need to spend 900 poetics. It's just the books take so long to complete. I fucking hate it. But, whatever. What the fuck ever. I still did it. I'm still gonna do it, pretty much. I think I have what? No, what? I don't even know if I want to do the White Mage one is the last one I'm doing. I really mean that. I'm gonna do the Yoichi Bow and Gay Bolg. And then the Summoner and White Mage ones, I just kind of have no desire to do them at the moment. Like, ever, pretty much. What are these quests? Because I need to do some of this shit. Yeah, my Paladin sword fucking sucks. I hope I can do Kefka soon. I was actually kind of hoping to do it tonight, and then I fucking fell asleep, and that did not happen at all. Why am I doing this as Paladin? Well, you know why? Because if the duty roulette pops, I might not be able to get away in 45 seconds. Oh, shit, there's no fucking Royal Authority. That hurts, man. So yeah, I just personally kind of wish that they would kind of pull their heads out their asses with Resident Evil. I mean, 7 wasn't bad, but god damn, I did not have an enjoyable experience with 6. That was a really shitty playthrough. I had a lot of really shitty playthroughs in 2012. I'm not gonna front. October 2012 probably had the most shitty playthroughs I've ever done. And I'm glad that it's fucking over, and I'm never going back to it, because I did not enjoy almost every playthrough I did in 2012. It's kind of weird, because I always cite 2012 as like this golden year, where I played a bunch of games, but now that I think about it, they were all kind of shitty playthroughs. I mean, I don't make any fucking blockbusters. They're all kind of fucking awful. But I really think that was like another breed of awful. Assassin's Creed 3 was a really fucking awful one. I always cite that as like my worst playthrough. Because I really hated Assassin's Creed 3. I really did. I was so disinterested with it after playing the other games earlier that year. I had no desire. Literally zero. It's funny because 2013 was like the year where I did all the shit for YouTube. I did a whole bunch of ridiculous playthroughs and non-stop bullshit. I burned myself the fuck out. Can't even play half these games anymore. I haven't played a God of War game since. And apparently that God of War 3 playthrough is like one of my top playthroughs. I have no clue why. And I really hate it. I really hate that that's the fucking playthrough that blew the fuck up. Relatively, of course. Again. You know what playthrough I actually did like? I liked Assassin's Creed Rogue. I liked Origins. Like, I could get my Odyssey playthrough being unappealing as fuck, because literally it is a 3-day long playthrough, I think. I'll actually check it in a second. I can interject my Opera browser. I don't do it for Chrome. Oops. I really hope I get my crystals really quickly. I mean, it's highly unlikely, but I really don't want to spend too much time on this shit. This is actually now like the worst step to do for the Heavensward relics, believe it or not. Even with the buffed crystal rate, because you gotta go to all these areas and wait on all these fates you don't give a shit about. Could be worse. I mean, it could be doing the fucking books. They could nerf the shit out of those books. That would be really nice, thank you. Of course not. Oh, perfect. Look how nice that that worked out. I guess I should say nicely that worked out. What is my my opera? No, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? Here we go. YouTube playlist analyzer. It's a great tool, by the way. I love it. Where's my Assassin's Creed playthrough? Fuck, they're gonna pull. Oh, what a bunch of assholes. They took off sort of. I level synced it, it's true. That's the reason why they took it off. Oh my god. I hate the opening to normal mode on this fucking fight, because he jumps and he has a really good chance of going far away depending on where people are. It really fucking sucks, because if you're in your inner release, the last thing you want to do is have to move super fucking far away. Here we go. Oh, nice. I wonder if you could put more spell speed on. That'd be pretty lit. Sad part is... Oh my fucking god. Why am I doing this at 2 in the morning? That's stupid of me. Come on, macro. Work with me. But yeah, the saddest part is, I don't even remember what I was going to say. That completely wiped my fucking mind clean. Oh, fuck. I actually fell for it. I didn't die, though. Yeah, 012 normal is kind of always a shit throw. Take your pick. I remember there was a time I had easier chances clearing Savage than clearing this. That was an enjoyable evening. I mean, it was like 2 or 3 evenings, but still. What is Program Alpha? Oh, fuck. Yeah, I fucked that up. I really am fucking that up. Nice. Managed to dodge in and out. But what is, I had better chances clearing this on Savage than I did anything else. To be fair, I think that Savage fights kind of end up being easier, because there's more defined order to passing or failing. Which is kind of optimal, I guess. I'm not even going to reapply that. There we go. Because you just know when you will and will not clear in Savage. But sometimes they like to fuck with you. And give you, like, false hope and shit. Whereas on normal mode, like, this right here, I remember wiping to this Enrage. I almost never wiped to an Enrage on a normal mode before, because normal mode almost never has an Enrage. And I remember distinctly that we were in a pretty bad spot. And you just gotta wait out the timer, because people don't know to jump. People know to jump on Savage, and it's clearly a hopeless scenario. Why bother? Have no hope. Just despair non-stop. Oh, give me the marker. Come on. Give me the marker. Nobody ever lets me have fun in this fucking game anymore. Full GCD is swap stances. You're killing me. Oh, Jesus. Fucking with my everything. Fuck it. I lost literally like 3 GCDs there. That was ridiculous. I like how they let me block that too, by the way. You're not supposed to usually block while casting. That's certain tips, probably. My guy goes on the left. Okay. You get 1 extra GCD under fight or flight? I actually don't remember. Maybe I don't have the skill speed to do that. Maybe I do. Alright, see you later. Oh shit, he survived. Look at that. And yeah, someone might say, well, why don't you move more? Trust me, I've moved more on that shit, and people move with me. So I don't move anymore. You see where the marker is, I don't fucking move. You figure it out. Because I have done that before, and it is very annoying. I'm like, oh, I'll move away so they can keep uptime. But nobody on this difficulty really tries to maintain uptime. They just try to survive, so... Fuck it. What do I know? I couldn't even clear Kefka, dude. I've never cleared Kefka. I've never cleared Alpha Skate. Oh, clearing that this week is going to be fun. I'm going to try to do that today. So yeah, this is a very weird Enrage. I think she just spams Laser Shower until you die. I don't think it like does anything extra or whatever. She just spams Laser Shower until you die. I mean, obviously you could survive it infinitely, I guess. I don't know. I feel like your resources would tap out. Okay, whatever. So what was I saying again? We're at that point where I kind of forgot. I saw those 3 people die, and that was kind of like the end of any concentration I had. I need to do the expert. I would never do the expert as a fucking paladin, though. That's a fucking mistake waiting to happen. Kind of sucks. I don't really have anyone to play this game with anymore. I kind of wish I did. I used to have a good thing going with statics and people and shit. Now that's kind of not the case. Which kind of sucks. Oh, motherfucker. And my controller's fucking up. I ain't gonna get no credit for this one. Well, that fucking sucks. What? Oh. Now there's a boss? How could there be a boss here if the Fate just spawned? This isn't the boss. Of course it isn't. I guess it doesn't run away. That's weird. Dude literally just does not run away. Oh, how the fuck do you use Berserk at this level? Does anyone really know? They only balance this game around 70. I think they even admit that. They don't really care about balancing this game below certain levels. Kind of just expect that you'll have the gear to do what you need to do and just sort of steamroll through everything. Oh, yeah, perfect skill speed. I was thinking about doing a giveaway for Pokemon. I might actually do that in the next month. I might do that. I think that'll be pretty nice. Just to make some people happy. I got a couple extra codes of various Pokemon. Specifically Zara, and what is this? Reshiram and Zekrom. Maybe I could like duplicate some extras for people if they really want to. I just don't want to put like Pokemon giveaway in my fucking Twitch title. Just because that seems like a clickbait thing. And I know people are only really here for the giveaway. Right? Like, I'm not stupid. Like, I don't want to be a dick and try to use giveaway to milk views or some shit. I just kind of want to do a good thing for a couple people. I have nothing against that, right? I think that's pretty decent. Alright, let's do this, I guess. But you know I'm gonna find something instantly because it's 2 in the morning. Please don't be the burn. I hate the fucking burn. I like the music. I hate the final boss. Ugh. Every time. I actually gotta look at 2019 in gaming, to be truthful. Maybe someday. I don't know. Maybe 2018 had a surprisingly good ending, I think. 2018 was pretty good. I gotta see what I'm gonna do tomorrow, to be truthful, because Friday and Saturday I'm doing different things, and Saturday I'm doing a fucking stream, which will be pretty lit. I'm gonna do it on YouTube, because it's not gonna be any normal stream. It's gonna be a fun stream, obviously. I really didn't put up storm drive, did I? Oh no, so that was excellent of me. Oh, you know what it is? It fell off. I think I did. I don't remember. I can't remember what I did 30 seconds ago. They also said that they already have decided what they want to do with resistance down debuffs. I think they finally heard enough bards and machinists bitch, and rightfully so, because there's only one class that can apply piercing down, and you really get this kind of messy situation where like either every class helps out, or I mean technically it enforces a meta, which I guess is helpful and nice, but at the same time you kind of just end up with this weird situation where the class with the most players on it is the most hindered by certain other players not showing up. And I think that is kind of fucked up on some basic level. Which is why I play Warrior. That's another reason why I play Warrior, to be honest. Because when you play Warrior, you put up your slash and debuffs. So maybe what I'm thinking, and this is kind of what I would do, so I'm kind of hoping that the devs and I are on some like subliminal like level of mutual thought, because then maybe they'll make it so that way like every class has it, and by doing your rotation correctly you maintain it, and that will be like teamwork that leads to better DPS maybe, so you're kind of more reliant on your teammates doing the right thing. But that also might not fucking happen at all, because then that means that if you get paired with bad people, you're fucked. So who knows? I mean, really it's anyone's guess. You could just remove it. Also another thing, you just buff people around it. But then that would probably make some combos feel empty, maybe. Who knows? I mean, that's one thing I kind of feel for them. I think that the system they have isn't good, but there's no real alternative if you want to maintain it. So maybe it's just a bad idea in general. I do like that they are willing to take some risks, though. I always gotta respect game devs that are willing to take a little bit of a risk in some aspects, while using a winning formula, and this game does have a winning formula. I think this is the Tank Buster, right? Yeah, fuck you. Need to go back to 2 dungeons per patch, though. Fuck that. That was something that really made me unhappy. I missed that. Heavens, where we were truly spoiled. That's another reason why I think Heaven's War was better, in all honesty. I actually like playing Monk in Sigmascape too. I did that a couple times. I think I did Phantom Train and Shatter. Just because reasons. What the fuck? Why'd he jump here? Oh, I guess he just relocates partway during the fight. Almost reached to Sheltron. I swear it's not that late. Oh, okay, beautiful. You never know. No rush. We're in no rush, said the asshole tank doing the big pulls. pop both. Because I'm a bad tank. Because why the fuck not? I really wish they would give back classes more identity. I think that would be something that would be pretty cool, because they said they're going to revamp the roll action system. It's going to have huge changes, right? It's going to be huge. So, for instance, my controller will disconnect, of course, because, you know, fuck me. Precisely why I'm getting a wireless controller tomorrow. Waiting, 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 waiting. Thank you. And yes, Windows noises, I'm sorry. Kick it! That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, I expect shit like Crutch. There's always at least one worthless roll action ability that classes just have. So I totally expect something like Crutch is gonna go. I expect something like what's the one for casters? Not Drain. No, Drain. Yeah, I expect Drain to go. I mean, it's a leveling tool, but to be fair, I don't really think you need it. It's kind of just there to take up space. We already know that Invigorate and Tactician are going to go, which means that Goad is probably either going to change or disappear as well. Refresh is still here, which is nice. Mana Shift will still exist. So a lot of stuff is going to get moved around. I'm thinking more about the tank roll actions. I feel like... Did I get him? Where did I come? I feel like, what's it called? Low Blow and Interject, which by the way are both taken off of Dark Knight. That's another thing that they do. They like to gut classes and then like wonder why the classes feel barren or just never get used. I mean, Dark Knight's in a different situation with that, but I really wonder like why they gut like half the shit off it, which is kind of crazy because Dark Knight still has button bloat. And they removed like 3 or 4 abilities from it, and made them general purpose abilities. They took Anticipation, they took Low Blow, and Interject has the same animation of Old Delirium, which when I found out, that irked me. But more to the point... Hello? What? My controller! Shit. Fuck. Dude. It's not gonna make it. I'm about to have to play something else tonight. Holy shit. I think I didn't do Savage today. This is a bad day for this fucking thing. I'm in Defiance, of course. Deliverance. Oh no, I'm stuck in it now. Fuck. I really hope this dude does not fucking jump before I can finish my calculus. I'm gonna be tight. I want to be a tight motherfucker. Oh my god. End me, please. I don't want to play this game anymore. I like how they rammed themselves out of existence, by the way. That's pretty depressing. Oh, fuck you. It's my reaction to every tank buster. Even though I know half of them are coming. It's like, okay, they overlap. I was gonna say, it seems like they overlap. But yeah, like, Anticipation, like, is it a cool skill? Yeah. Is it on a short CD? Yeah, but it's only a chance. And to be fair, we have Ron Tuition as Warrior anyway. So, like, it kind of doesn't really serve much of a purpose. is basically like shittier low blow that now has more. It's just another button because it was kind of taken off the class. They balanced the class around it not being there, and then it became a roll action. It's really weird, but it's a move I've never used. Even though you could argue, well, why don't you use it? I just never use it. Like, the brain power and the processing power it would take for me to, in the moment, be like double tap L2 square is just not worth it. That's why I have all these abilities over here on this little tab thing. Because 99% of the time I will never use any of them. The only one that I might use is like Ultimatum. Because Ultimatum is kind of relevant. But it's kind of fucked up because they're always going to need the ability for tanks to silence, kind of. Because they balance certain content around it. So like for instance, back in the day, Ultros needed to be silenced. And what was it called? Needed to be silenced. Halley. No, not Halley, the Iron Giant. Halicarnassus was such a fucking... It was fun though, I loved it, but it was really... It's something. Me too. I miss it, actually. I miss Halley. Halley was fun. That was an actually difficult fight that I enjoyed. I enjoyed all the tier 3. I think all the tier 3 fights this tier are pretty difficult. All the tier 4 fights are pretty gimmicky. I mean, Kefka was probably my favorite, I think. Hello World and all the other bullshit is really fucking annoying. It doesn't really, like... It's just... I mean, it's not... When you really think about Hello World, if you're not a healer, it's not really too much that you're doing. At the end of the day, it's just stand places, maybe pick up Rot, and, fuck, I lost my train of thought because these things are beating the shit out of me. Stand places, maybe pick up Rot, and, just more or less DPS, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. That's kind of why I don't like Hello 812 or 012, because while it is a decent raid, it's not a very great raid, because even one mistake is wipe-worthy on like almost every part of the fight, and I kind of don't like that. I mean, I've cleared it. I'll clear it again this week. It's just, it's not very fun. It's not the same as Kefka. Because Kefka was fun. I pretty much any time you do Kefka, I had a lot of fun. Except for the time when my co-tanks just let me die to that one ultimate embrace that you have to share. That was always an enjoyable part. I really had a lot of fun. And you know what's crazy about it? Both times that my tanks did that to me, they both like basically stood next to me, looked me in the eye, and walked away. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if I did that to someone, they'd bitch me out in chat. Oh well. Feels bad. What can you do? Still cleared, but my parse was completely shit. I was wrecked. So, take your pick. Is that on there? Oh well. I mean, like, I still enjoyed 012. It's just nothing compared to Kefka. I think Sigmascape, hands down, was the best tier in this entire raid tier. And the reason why I say that is because, one, I'm a Final Fantasy VI fanboy. I love that game to death. But more importantly than that, just even the easy fights at least had something really cool going on. Like Phantom Train, you run on top of a train, right? Like, how many games do you really get to do something that obscene? And we all know that train is a meme anyway, so it's kind of pretty cool. I'm not even in that. Whatever. We all know that the train is kind of a meme, which is funny in its own way. And I really did enjoy that part. Like, the nods to all the old school shit in the Sigma tier were just amazing. And I loved it from start to finish. It was so enjoyable. And that's probably my favorite memory on this game, is that they had a tier based off one of my favorite games of all time. Chatternook, I guess Chatternook was the lamest fight, if you really want to say that. But I still think it was satisfactory. I do not like Midgar Summer. I think Midgar Summer is the worst fight they've put in this game in a long time. Am I going to have any safe space here? Yes, okay. But you know what? I actually like O12 now. Now that I've cleared it a few times, I actually don't think it's that awful. I actually think it's a pretty decent fight. It's just that to expect people to perform perfectly is pretty ridiculous. I don't think that the average person will really do that. Oh shit, I'm not going to finish this. Wait. Perfect. So yeah, I like that. 011's fine. 09 is chaos. I think that's pretty cool. I think they just wanted to find a way to weave in. That was close. They want to find a way to weave in some of these old school fights. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see a Kefka in the story. But shit. Yeah, it's really annoying. If you're not on the side where he's coming from, you're kind of oh, I'm really fucked. You could free me. I didn't do anything, really. I like how the Mist Dragon is halfway off the platform, too. It's a real oddity that occurs with it. Oh, we're good. Kefka being, Kefka used to do some weird stuff, though. But since I'm about to start Uwu, I kind of am forced to get my gear together and shit like that. So I'll do that. Fucking Alliance. Ugh. I need to do these as Paladin for the tank credit. What was that? Somebody do the quick fucking math. What was that, like another 44 runs? Bear in mind, I don't do this every day. I should, if I wanted to actually make progress unlocking that. But I know I'll get it anyway. I'll get it probably before fucking 5.0 comes out. It's hard to believe that 4.4 is already kind of done. It really will have been 2 years. It's just, it doesn't feel that way. It just feels so weird. Which is also kind of crazy. I was reading up on 1.0 stuff, because it's just kind of popped up a bit in my vision of general interest. 1.0 did a lot of really weird stuff. Like, even just from a story aspect. Apparently you knew Minfilia as a kid or something? Oh, I don't have it. Fuck. You like knew Minfilia as a kid or something, and a whole bunch of characters that they'll probably bring back one day, and it'll make all the 1.0 fans, like, lose their minds. But I actually didn't even know that 1.0 was a thing back then. I didn't even know it came out, I don't think. I think I might have just heard about it. But I looked at some of the screenshots, and it, to be fair, wasn't very impressive looking. So, in all honesty, I wasn't too interested and too turned on by it. I mean, who knows? Maybe someday, right? Maybe they'll do something about that. Don't get me wrong, I give them 100% respect and adoration for being able to resurrect pretty much a dead game, but what the fuck? 2010 to like 2014 Square Enix was a very fucking weird time. They always did some really dumb shit that would bite them in the ass later. I'm not finishing this before the roulette finishes. They're gonna put me in some Alexander shit like A3. Called it. Oh well. I know I can get my crystals. I mean, let's be honest. I only have, what, 4 more of these relics I haven't done. I finished my machinist. I did all 3 of the tank ones. I did the ninja... No, I didn't do the ninja one, actually. That's the other one I want to do. Oh, sweet. I want to do the ninja one. Ninja... I think the ninja sandungs look pretty good, or whatever the fuck it is. Sandangs. I think those look pretty good. Yes, I will main tank, sure. Sandangs. And not to mention they remixed the fight theme. This is so fucking lit, man. I really hope Final Fantasy IV gets, like, the primal treatment. Because they have taken so much from Final Fantasy VI, and there's probably still more that they can take, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Look at that. Everything about this was just a nostalgia trip. That whole stream, I was pretty much gushing from every orifice. It was so fucking lit. There you go. Why couldn't this be a weave? The world will never know. I need to get my fucking Kefka sword, though. I don't know what I'll be playing for Uru. I don't even know if I really want to do it, but I'm a dirty fucking whore for this game, so I'll probably play it. Thank you. Gotta get a good Kefka pattern. Please? Yeah, perfect. Actually, this one's always the same. And this was a Faust form that kind of didn't feel really dumb. I like it because you have different phases as you ascend the statue. So the attention... Final Fantasy VI truly is one of the best games ever made. Because I feel like you could adapt it into so many forms, and it still fucking holds together with just the attention to detail and all the shit that's going on. And it's not something that you see a lot in a lot of different video games. Usually video games kind of just exist as they do, and that's kind of the end of it. What the fuck? Okay, see ya. Oh, fuck. I'm used to having to reprisal this. I had a flashback to, like, literally February. Let's see if this will work. I'm not casting. It's beautiful. I always get happy when I do this raid, man. So many fond memories of raiding this shit. Because I remember we got to this tier, and I had to fucking switch to fucking warrior, and I was pissed. And I mean, it is kind of dumb. But then I ended up liking warrior better than I ever liked Dark Knight. So it kind of works out, you know what I mean? Ah, fuck. Let me give you a little extra time on that. Some people say Paladin is the simplest rotation. I actually disagree. I don't really like Paladin as much as I like the other tanks. I think my Paladin's actually the worst because you have to figure out how to weave your casts and shit. And I play on gamepad, so it's a little bit harder. Shouldn't have done that, but oh well. But then again, with Dark Knight, because I haven't practiced it, I'm probably not as good. So, take your pick, right? I either play the quote-unquote easier... Oh, I'm not even going to look. I already know I'm correct. That's right. We did this shit enough to know what the sound effects are for each. Should really have reprisal that, oh well.
It's normal mode. We don't have to take it seriously.
I really dislike when people do that. Fuck. Yeah! Oh, this is perfect. Kefka loves me, dude. Don't worry, I'm sure that they'll put in other characters from Final Fantasy VI in this game. Which is fine, because I think that's pretty cool. Like Emperor Gestal or someone. They'll mention him in passing, because the War of the Magi is already a book that you get during your Zodiac weapon quest. I forget what step. So, because, like, I like that they put that shit in, right? Like, it teases my inner fucking nerd. And I love it. Because it hits me on some level that Warcraft can never fucking touch me on. And that's why I like it so much. Oh, fuck. I'm just gonna block this. You would never do this in Savage. You would die doing that, honestly. But to be fair, if this was Savage, the whole fight is fucking different. I'd have to re-look up the timings, though. Yeah, I may not get that far. What was it? 3 Ultima Upsurges and then Enrage? God damn, man. I remember when, after a point, because I played the shit out of this tier. After a point, you get to like this level where you can clearly see that half of this shit no longer even applies. Where you could just skip Ultimate Enrages, the other bullshit. You don't even see it anymore. Just becomes this like memory of when you used to see Ultima Upsurges. I'm pretty sure one time I killed him like halfway through the 4th phase in Godka. I fucked up, by the way. It's not been a good evening for me. I was ahead somehow. Oh no, I wasn't. I lost. That's why I lost, because I had to move and do shit. Uh-oh. I fucked up again. Yeah, so now I'm kind of behind. Feels bad. Should have actually just fucking rolled with it, to be truthful. Taken the L, done two Gorns pretty much back to back. You know what? Less enmity for me to worry about. Shit. I'm like half a second off from maintaining it. Fucking skill speed. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Actually, it kind of did. Yeah, the statue gives like this like bumping sound right before it fucking does damage or shit. I remember one time they let me die with that shit. I was really pissed about that. They all ran out to fucking dodge the AoE. Because once again, I was doing uptime. I have a lot of fun trying to do uptime in normal content. Because nobody ever wants to risk it with you. So they kind of just like let you die. And I still never learned my lesson apparently. He might. Oh my god, my controller fucking stopped working for a second there. I fucking flipped. Jesus, I felt lightheaded. Oh, fuck me in the ass. So I guess all these things have an independent chance of dropping, don't they, then? Because I've seen some where all three drop. I've seen one where only one drops. I just want these Orchestrion rolls. I'm not getting that one. I might get that one. And I didn't get either, apparently, because I got outrolled by a 93. So I will never get these fucking Orchestrion rolls, and I'm kind of sick and tired of farming this shit to literally have a chance and never getting it. It's kind of annoying and pisses me off. And someday I will farm it, and I will still not get it. Shit. It's profoundly fucking annoying, to be truthful with you. Okay, I'm gonna do my usual trick. What the fuck? What happened? Oh, this happened. I actually need to go to Limsa. Turn in some garbage. Out of all the Labyrinth of the Ancients and Final Fantasy III dungeons that they put in this game, I find that I prefer... And you know Heinz Castle will be a dungeon someday. That'll be pretty lit. They'll throw him in somehow. But, out of all the other shit, I prefer doing Circus Tower. It's the easiest, and I really never have any trouble there. I find, like, a lot of times people will fuck up Cerberus by not placing the fetters. They'll fuck up the Ahriman by aiming the beam at the whole party. It is too much shit that goes wrong. And I'm kind of a salty motherfucker when it comes to that. And I really hate that. And part of me is like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, sometimes I just have to stop and think, what possessed you to fuck up in the manner in which you did? You know what I mean? Like, how did that train of thought work? I mean, it's one thing to get yourself killed, right? It's another thing to get the whole party killed. I don't know. Some things really just are kind of like, what the fuck, man? I have a rough run of things. What was I keeping here? Some of the, you know, this doesn't look that awful, honestly, if you could put the hood down. Can you put the hood down? No. Because if you look at the glamour, it actually doesn't look too bad, some of these color schemes. But I will never use it. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to ever use it. There's better versions of that. Let's see. These actually don't look that bad. But the thing is, if you look at this, you can only dye the joint parts. You can't dye the other parts. I'm never going to use it anyway. You know, sometimes I keep these around and I'm like, yeah, maybe someday I'll use them. Like the Darklight Boots of Healing aren't awful. But it only dyes that one part. Sabatons of Light. What the fuck? Oh, don't I have these? I'm like 99% certain I have them. I'm just trying to make room for when I do this shit. I can actually pick up some of this gear. Yeah, Scylla doesn't have bad hand gear. I won't deny that. Phlegathon gives you his loincloth. I don't think Phlegathon gives it. I think Scylla gives it. It's like, why would I ever want to wear this dude's loincloth? I actually like the demon set. The demon set isn't bad. Tsukiyomi's Grimoire, don't care. Because I got the Omega Grimoire, which is pretty fucking lit. Diamond Gauntlets of Fending. I gotta find all my old shit. I don't remember what my best in slot was. Let's take that one. Okay. Whole goal here is to lower my item level so I can get in easily. 21 minutes. So maybe I'll do something else in the meantime. Or maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. No, it ain't that late. Oh, Christ. I'm really gonna stop waking up this late. Okay. See, my only thing is, I don't know if I change my gear. I guess it has to record your gear at the time of you entering the roulette, right? Let's test that. I'm number one on the roll list. Actually, that's pretty bad. It's actually really... Oh. Never mind, I guess it's good. Yeah, you can't... I should have done... I should have just done it, so that way I could have been like, look, see, it works. Because I get the creeping suspicion it only checks your gear score when you apply. Because if it didn't, then it could technically, like, I guess it really only does. I think that's how it works. I'm like 89% certain. It only checks to see what your gear score is when you actually get in. Okay, come on, tanks, let's go. We're doing some fucking level 50 bullshit anyway. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the fucking weekly, and for my relic. Once I'm done with my relics, I'm not doing this shit no more because I actually don't want to do level 50 bullshit all day long. It's really annoying. It's boring. I hope I get the caster code. Actually, I think the tome caster code is better. I think I got most of the good shit, to be truthful. I don't even play casting anyway, so it doesn't matter. As long as I get the 400 gear. Let's be truthful. It doesn't really matter. I really don't like doing level 50 Black Rage. Because it's just fire spam, and I always miss the fire starter proc, because you pretty much gotta wait like half a second, and I'm a button masher. Plus, no foul. Foul is the most satisfying move for me in the game, because when you hit it, everything feels right. Like the universe congeals into this perfect formation, and it's just really like sexually satisfying, and I love it. I remember doing this when it was 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. What a timeline. This game really got a lot easier for people who joined late. They got the whole fucking world handed to them, man. I remember the rough and tough days back when you had to juggle 3 dots as a Dark Knight. And you know what? I miss those fucking days. I wouldn't trade them for anything. It was so much fun to hit Scourge and manage Fracture and all that shit. Because that's kind of what I thought the class was meant to be. Oh god, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not dying to the look. Why does nobody ever tank these? Shit, my problem when I tank Alliance raids is I tank too much. Oh god. I tank too much is my problem. My healers don't keep up. I'm too much of a go-getter. I really got to start playing Tactics Advance again. That's another playthrough I want to get back into. I don't think I'll stream it anymore, though. I used to stream that way back when, a lifetime ago. This game is very notoriously loose with Gil. Oh, yeah, really? Do tell, Past Spray and Pray. Do tell, fucking jackass. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, the things you could tell 2016 me and what he would react to would be fucking outlandish, dude. It would be so fucking crazy. Hey, all this shit's gonna happen, and it's gonna be really fucking awful. Ah, I don't believe you, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good fucking times. Why am I using fire, too? It's like one enemy. Oh, hell no. Here we go. Fuck you. I'm gonna go for the slow double cast. I like how Convert has actually survived to this day in this game. I really... It's a move I've never really thought about. It kind of feels like they should have removed it a long time ago. Yeah. Oh well. I gotta play more fucking Xenoblade X. I gotta get better gear in it. Xenoblade X is like this reoccurring project I kind of like to dabble in from time to time. It's not something I play too seriously. It's something that I like. Don't get me wrong. Uh-oh. And our healer's new, by the way, so we're about to have some real fun with this. What's really fucked up is that this damage goes through barriers. So you can't... I don't think Galvanize does anything. It might. Actually, Galvanize might. I don't think Mana Ward does anything. I'll try it. Oh, I'll fuck around with it. Now, another thing about the whole Blue Mage learning thing is that Red Mage doesn't play half what it's like in normal Final Fantasies. You know, usually Red Mage is kind of like this weird class that does healing and damage. It doesn't really do jack shit in terms of healing. I mean, I guess you could argue that it does... Here we go, I'll do this. I don't think this does... Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Mana Ward doesn't block it. it all ticks through. It doesn't matter. But, you know, Blue Mage, or Red Mage doesn't really play anything like what it used to, or what it normally does. They didn't have a problem putting that in. I mean, I guess it's also got to be a good consideration of how they plan to implement it. I mean, I guess Blue Mage is more of a caster. It just kind of sucks that this iconic class will be in the game and it's just virtually unusable in, like, anything that really matters. I think that's kind of what annoys me the most. Because I actually I play everything in this fucking game. I love this game that much, right? Like, I bitch about it, but I love it that much because it is kind of like this perfect conglomeration of all the Final Fantasy shit I love. Right? Like, how could I not like that? I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I love it. Even when the series was in its dark, weird days of fucking 13, I still stuck by it. I think those games are awful. Like, I'm not going to pretend like all of a sudden they're great games, but I still stuck by them then. Oh, Christ. Not putting A. Fuck A. What's fucked up about this is that even though they added the teleport to instance area, what actually ends up happening is that if you come late and you get locked out, you always go to side A, which is kind of fucked up, and they're never fixing that ever. They might randomly fix it like 8 fucking eight fucking years from now or something. This is my favorite part of the fucking fight. Here we go. Ready? Absolutely. Anyway. Well, I kind of am hoping, though. No, they already kind of precluded the possibility that Blue Mage will ever evolve into a full job. So, I mean, it would have to be some shift in what Yoshida wants to do which will probably just flat out never happen because he's pretty much set on his ways that he's not going to do that. It's a sailed ship, and they're not coming back and doing any of that shit. They're done, flat out. So take it or fucking leave it. You either like it or you don't. And I don't like it. Well, whatever. Apparently there's 3 other jobs that they plan on releasing. Just gonna analyze. Here we go. So like I said a long time ago, that was the fastest I've ever seen people kill it. What I said a long time ago, though, is that my Odyssey playthrough is 3 days, 11 hours, and 33 minutes, and 42 seconds. It is the de facto longest playthrough I've ever done. Ever. So, I don't think it'll ever top it. That might be my limit. Unless it's like some really long, enduring playthrough. It might not be the most footage of a game I put out. Battlefield 5 might still, or Battlefield 4 might still hold that record. But it is the de facto longest single playthrough I've ever done. This is before DLC. Origins after DLC was like just like under 2 days, I think. This is never happening. Just flat out never happening. Like I might do YouTube another 10 fucking years and never have a playthrough longer than this. Although I say that now, and who knows, in 5 years there'll be a playthrough that's longer than this. A literal 3-day long playthrough. Because I did everything in the game pretty much. I mean, and that's the crazy part. There's still more shit I didn't do in the game. I mean, granted, a lot of it is repetitive. A lot of it is just, hey, you know, do this, do that. But it's fun gameplay. I mean, that's what really matters to me, is that the gameplay is fun. And I did enjoy it. I don't think it was perfect. And apparently now they've added a whole bunch of shit. So maybe I should go back and play the DLC. I'll play it once it's all done. Once each episode or whatever of it is all done. I'm not going to do like some half-assed shit. I just wish that we had more Bayek. I liked Bayek better. The whole lying mechanic just felt unnecessary. The whole Peloponnesian War thing was cool. Like, I look back on it more. I rolled a 1 on that, by the way. Where is this? The whole Peloponnesian War thing wasn't cool. Maybe I'll boot it on stream, maybe. I gotta get the disc. Fuck that. Never mind. I'll boot it sometime. I'm not gonna boot it tonight. I have to get the disc and take another one out. I'm not doing all that. What I do want to do is have fucking Spyro come out on PC. And then have people crack it so we can get custom Spyro worlds. That'd be pretty lit. I didn't say anything. Ah, fuck. I didn't say anything. Yeah, I rolled a 1. RNG never favors me. I'm getting really sick of it. I know it's literally the definition of random, but why is it that every single fucker I play with gets a higher roll than me? Like, by definition, it just pisses me off. I get so fucking annoyed when it's something I really want, and some dude who really didn't deserve it gets it. I'm not saying that whoever gets something always doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of times I'll be in Savage, and some dude will fucking die, like, twice, and I'll have more DPS than him, and he'll just have barely done the necessary job. What armor is this, by the way? The fuck? Blood Hempen... Replicating Okay, whatever. I'll have done more DPS than him, and I'll have done a whole bunch of other shit. And it's just... It's fucking frustrating. And every single static I get into has to fucking dissolve, so I can't... See, all I need from a static is 8 weeks of clears of the top level. That's all I fucking need. I don't need anything more from you people after that. And I don't want to be salty and pissed at them because, you know, real life happens, right? Like, Lord Guy will come in here maybe once a week or something if he sees me on. But, like, it is frustrating when it's like, I just want to get this fucking stupid Omega mount. Right? And I don't want to say everyone goes do a run where only I get it. That's kind of... I'm not that type of person, but sometimes you gotta be that fucking person. Because you know what? It's not fair. It sucks. But I mean, that's just life. And sometimes you just gotta be that salty motherfucker. You gotta put the fucking rules down and be like, listen, I just want this shit. I don't care. Loot Master. And I don't want to do that, right? Because that's fucked up. But like I've said 3 times already, you just gotta be that fucking person sometimes. It's unfortunate. But reality, are they even killing their fucking bombs at this point? There's been like 3 bombs exploding every like 10 seconds. No, they're not. Okay, well this thing's gonna hit the fucking... Okay, excellent. Sometimes though, and I don't even feel like playing sound clips today, by the way. This is not even a real stream. This is not even a stream, really. This is just a recorded YouTube video that I don't have to really render out afterwards. That's pretty much what this is. What the fuck? No. I have my weapon equipped, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go get some eggnog after this. Oh, look, we're up to distinct activity. Okay, shit. I, like, half stop paying attention. Because, like, if I check it every run, which I do anyway, so I'm a liar. Like, it's like watching a watched pot, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, dude, you're gonna drive yourself fucking insane. By the way, that was a nice play by that Dragoon. I saw what he did. Respect. But yeah, I'll assemble a list of games I want to play and shit, and whatnot. Like, I'll put it together. Kind of want to play Darksiders 2 again. Platinum that. Oh, we killed him fucking fast. Usually we get like 2, maybe 3 meteor cycles. I almost never see the onion mask. DPS the shit out of him. Yeah, hard to call things difficult when this tier was made without direct hits. Yeah, that's actually very true. Direct hit didn't exist back then. Direct hit was pretty much just a flat buff to a whole bunch of shit. Pretty much. Direct hit is just a straight fucking buff. At this point, at least. And in this content, it's a straight buff. Anything pre-fucking Stormblood, direct hit is just a straight buff. Just flat out. Excellent. Thank you, asshole. I've killed this guy during his Ancient Flare second cast. Oh, well, you're dead. Perfect, look at that. I don't even care that would have dropped a no-chin. It doesn't matter. I don't have a no-chin at this level. Oh my god, my controller. Hello? Shit. Oh, whatever advantage I had is lost. That was real nice, by the way. It was real smooth how it like kept me running in the fucking direction. Yeah, well. I'm actually kind of glad I'll be getting a new one. Uh-oh, we're dead, aren't we? Wow, that was pretty close. Yeah, hands off, motherfucker. can only get brilliant from this. I don't think you can get blinding. That's why it's only worth doing Circus. Circus Tower and World of Darkness. I roll a 99? Oh, get the fuck out of here. Now I roll my fucking 99. Well, you know what? I'd love to deploy that 99 for use in something else. You know, like on the mount I'm gonna roll a 30 on this time and this week. It's really fucking frustrating. Okay. Well, what didn't I do? Trials? Kinda don't want to do that. I don't want to do trials today. I might actually stop the stream and maybe play something else, I guess, for a few hours. I don't know. Maybe. Just maybe, because am I even gonna find anything for... What's the time on Circus? Let's see. Less than 5. Ah, fuck it. Actually, I don't want to do this shit tonight. Fuck that. I'm not doing it tonight. It's way too much bullshit for one evening. Especially with this controller constantly screwing me over at every opportunity. Alright, well, what I'll do is I'll stop the stream. And yes, I made a brand new ending soon sign. I'll stop the stream. Maybe I'll play something else. I don't know. It depends. I'll go get something to eat, I guess. If I don't come back, no one will miss me anyway. So yeah, that's kind of it. I will play a sound clip to peace out, though. Because I love this fucking soundboard. Best money I ever spent for my YouTube channel. Absolutely.
You know, sometimes you need some crazy motherfuckers to change something. So we keep on saying, I hate you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Because I was drugged the fuck out, bro. I was drugged out.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. No! You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye,
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what?
You ain't got.
Me? Come on, chill out.
You ain't got the answers.
Kanye,
you ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you.
You
a
ain't
question.
been doing the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Kanye, calm down.
You don't have the answer.
Hey, look how cool this time is, though. This game is so cold. Look, boom, bam, throw the little small boot on the counter. Boom, pop the hat. What's up? Let me gonna smoke this cig. Pop, roll it in one hand. Flip it, leave it open. Let the mouse lick it. Come here, bitch. Yeah. Boom, throw it in the air. Pop it with the fire. Bow! Yeah. One pull. That motherfucker gone. I'm done with it. What's that? Howdy, bitch.
I'm gonna dedicate the rest of my life to forgetting it.